Guys, welcome once again to Pikama Stitches. Today I'm going to show us how to make this beautiful shirt top with notched collar, and I used just 1.5 yard of Ankara print. So let's get right into class. So I have my fabric folded into two. Can you see this? The front piece is shorter by 3 inches than the front. This is the front piece. Can you see what I have here? And what will guide you to fold this is the biggest part of the upper part of your body. For me, it's my bust. You will divide that by 4 and you're going to be adding minimum 2 to 3 inches. Okay, so I'm trying to draw this line out to show us where the front fold stops. Can you see? Sorry, the back fold. This is the back. The front is extended and the front is wider than the back by 3 inches. Can you see? By 3 inches difference. So this will help us to create our notched collar, and all our measurements will be starting from this folded part, which is the back piece. Okay, all our measurements is starting from this folded part. So let's get right into measuring. So right from this folded part, you're going to be marking your shoulder width divided by 2. So for me it's 8 inches. I'm going ahead to mark that 8-inch point. Still from the folded part, I'm going to be marking my neck width of 3 inches, and then I'm coming down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope, and I'll slope my shoulder to my 3-inch neck width. So don't mind the way I sloped it, just sloped it accurately. Okay, sorry. So from that point, I'm going to be marking my shoulder to bust point, and for me it's 11.5 inches. I'm extending it all the way to the front extension, and then my shoulder to waist point is 18.5. also extend it, and then the full length of the top. Remember, I'm using just 1.5 yard of fabric, so I had 26 inches and I'm using that. Now from this sloped part, I'm going to get my armhole cuff, which is my round bust divided by 6 plus 1.5 inches, and I'm going ahead to mark that. And at that chest line point, I'm going to be marking my shoulder width as well, and I'll connect it into a straight line, just creating basic bodice pattern. That's what we're doing here. Now get the midpoint of this slant, and at the midpoint for the front armhole, I'm going to come in by 1/2 inch, and on that chest line I'm going to be marking my bust round divided by 4. Then I'll go ahead to connect all these lines, these 3 lines together, from chest line to the 1/2 inch back to the shoulder slant, just the way you see me do. Now I'm going to be adding 2 inches for my sewing allowance, 1 inch for ease, 1 inch for sewing allowance. You can do more or do less. Now at the waist area, if you want it to be shaped, okay, you can go ahead and take out 1 inch or 1.5 from what you have on your bust area and mark it at the waist area. It depends on how free you want the shirt to be on you. Now at the hem part, I'm going to be marking my hip measurement divided by 4, and I'm going to be adding 2 inches to that, and I'll connect it back to my waistline. Now can you see what we have there? Now you can decide to make yours straight. What you have at the bust point, take it straight down to the hem of the top. It totally depends on your choice. Now for the neck width, I'm going to be using this 3 inches because it's a shirt, and for the back neck depth, I'm going to be working with 1 inch. Okay, and I'm going to connect that. That's for the back neck depth, and for the front neck depth, I'm going to be working with 3 inches. So 3 inches neck width, 3 inches neck depth. Since it's a shirt, go ahead and curve the neckline neatly. Okay, now for a slim person you can do 2.5, but for a plus size, 3 inches neck depth for a shirt is perfect. But first, go ahead and cut out the back neck depth, okay, and the back armhole for now. When you're done, you're going to go ahead and reshape the front neck depth and the front armhole. So just go ahead and cut this out. It's a very simple tutorial, and I want to use this opportunity again, guys, to say thank you for the love, the support on this channel, I'm extremely grateful and I'm thankful for the love. May God richly bless each and every one of you. My OGs and the new subscribers, thank you so much. I really appreciate. Okay, so go ahead and straighten this out, cut out. If you have enough fabric, you can extend the length depending on how long you want this to be. Okay, so for me, I had just 1.5 yard of Ankara print. I'll go ahead and use it just the way it is. Okay, now can you see what we have here? We're done cutting, so we're going to go ahead and remove this back piece so we can go ahead and work on our front piece. Now guys, please pay close attention. Please watch carefully. I'm going ahead to connect the front 3-inch depth to the neck width, just the way you see me do. Can you see what we have here, guys? Okay, so when you're done doing that, remember we had cut out 1 inch, okay, from the neck. So I'm going to subtract that 1 inch from my neck depth. I'm going to determine how long I want the cuff to be, my notched collar. Okay, and I wanted mine to start from 8 inches. So mark that 8-inch part. From that 8-inch, you're going to go ahead and mark your 1-inch button overlap allowance, and that's 1 inch I'm marking. Now you're marking this 1 inch, connecting it to the point where you want your collar to start, the flap, okay, the notch collar. I hope you understand. Now from that point, you're going to connect it back to the 3 inches neck depth, just the way you see me do. Your 1 inch button overlap, connect it back to the 3-inch extension that you have. If you have enough fabric, you can do 3.5, 4 inches depending on what you want. And when you're done, just go ahead and cut this out the way you see me do. Now I wanted mine to go down some more. Okay, so I'm going ahead to mark 9 inches for mine. If you want yours to go lower, just go ahead and do more. If you want it curved, you can curve this part. Just play around with it, but make sure you're connecting it in a way that you have excess fabric in front for your notch collar. Okay, so when you're done with that, just go ahead and cut this the way you see me cut. So just go ahead and cut. You can do 1.5-inch button overlap. You can extend your own front. Okay, the notch collar, you can extend it by 3.5, 4 inches, depends on what you have. So this is what we have right here. And then make sure you notch this 3-inch extension where your neck depth stopped. Can you see where I'm notching? Notch that point. It will guide us when fixing our collar. Okay, so go ahead and notch, and we're done with the front. Go ahead and trim your armhole as well. Now while recording this video, so sorry guys, I lost a clip of when I was cutting out the facing for our notch collar, but I will still explain it to us. Okay, so this is what we have for our back. Okay, we'll cut out normal facing for the back, and this is our front piece. I have this small crepe fabric, black crepe fabric. It's a leftover fabric. I'm going to be using this to cut out the facing for my front piece. Now from the shoulder of the front, this is the place where I lost the clip. I'm going to explain. From the shoulder, okay, you're going to mark inwards 2.5, at most 3 inches, and at the lower point here, from your button overlap allowance, you're going to mark inwards 2.5 or 3 inches as well, and connect it just the way you see me do. So sorry guys, I lost that clip, but I hope this is understandable. Cut the exact same thing you have in front, but for the shoulder part, from the shoulder inwards, you're going to be marking 3 inches or 2.5. At the lower part, from your button overlap, mark inwards 2.5 or 3 inches as well, and you connect it and cut out. I hope that's understandable. Please guys, so sorry, I don't know how I missed that clip. If it's not understandable, please kindly let me know in the comments section. Okay, I'll take this again. From the shoulder of the front, go inwards by 2.5. At the lower part, mark 2.5 inwards and connect it into a straight line, and trim the exact thing you have in front with the button overlap and then connect it. Just trim it out the exact thing you see on this my black crepe fabric. Now you're going to be cutting out 2 pieces of this, the same way you have 2 front pieces. For this facing, you're going to be cutting out 2 pieces as well. And now I'm going ahead to trim off my stay to attach to the crepe fabric. So this is what I have. Even for the back, I've cut out my facing, and for the front, I've also gone ahead to cut out my facing as well, and I've added stay to it for it to have more structure. So this is what we have. After attaching my stay, this is what I mean, guys. Can you see from the shoulder 2 inches, 2.5 or 3 at the lower part, the same thing, and then you cut out. From the way I placed this, you should understand. Now the front and back shoulder of the facing should align, okay? Very important. I'm aligning them at the shoulder to ensure they match. Can you see what I have here? So we're going ahead now to join them. I'll go ahead to join this together. Join the shoulders of the main fabric by 1/2 inch, shoulders of the facing by 1/2 inch. So after joining the lining, let me call it the lining, by 1/2 inch, can you see I've gone ahead to iron and open out the seam allowance, okay? And I've gone ahead as well to join the shoulders of the front and open up my seam allowance. Now I'm going to put the facing aside. Now remember this notched point at the front I asked you to take note of, okay? Make sure you did that notch, it will guide us. I'm trying to ensure that the shoulder lines match, so I'm using my pin to hold it in place. Remember the back piece is on fold, okay? We want to mark out at this point to get our collar. Can you see the notched point? Okay, you can decide to go inwards by 1 inch if you don't want your collar to get there, but I want my collar to start from that point, okay? So from the center back, I'm going to measure round to that notched point. Stop your measurement at the notched point. So I have 7 inches. Now 7 inches by 2 is giving us 14. Remember this fabric is on fold, so I'm going to be cutting out a 14-inch fabric for my collar. I'll add sewing allowance to that, okay? So this is the Ankara print I have left. Remember I said I'm working with 1.5 yard of Ankara, so I have it folded in 2. Now when folded in 2, ensure that you have what you measured on your round neck, okay, up onto the notch point. So now that it's on fold, I'm going to go ahead and mark that same 7 inches I had. I hope this is understandable. After marking my 7 inches, I'm going to add 1/2 inch to that to join it. Remember we're going to join the both collars and flip them over, so I'm adding 1/2 inch, okay? So I marked the 7 inches plus 1/2 inch. Now for the length of this collar, I'm going to be doing 4 inches. So I'm marking 4 inch at this point, and I'm going to mark it again at this point, and I'm going to connect this into a square. Just connect it the way you see me do. Mark your neck, your shoulder round that you got, and add 1/2 inch to that. Now when I open up this fabric that is on fold, I'll have 15 inches. At this open part, come up by 1 inch the way you see me do and slant it back. Just to create a design, you can go ahead and leave yours just the way it is, but I came up at this open part by 1 inch and I slanted it to the lower part. So you're just going to go ahead and cut this out. We're done with creating our collar. So you're going to be needing 2 of this. One will be the facing, okay, of this collar. So I'm going to place it on this and cut another one. So guys, I really hope this tutorial is understandable. If you watched this tutorial up to this point and you have not liked, please kindly like this tutorial, kindly subscribe, tell your friends about this channel, okay? I uploaded a tutorial I think just yesterday, so you should look up that tutorial, the trendy boo-boo dress. It will really be helpful. Thank you so much guys, and any tutorial you would like for us to work on, just let me know in the comment section and I will reach out to you, okay, and we'll look for a way to go around it. Okay, so this is what we have. We have 2 of this. Now you're going to be adding stay to just one of this fabric. We have 2 pieces, and notch, make sure you notch the midpoint. I'm going to be attaching stay to one of this for us to use. So this is what I have, guys. After attaching stay to one part, okay, this part is without stay, and I'm going to be placing these right sides facing each other, and I'll sew around the way you see me do by 1/2 inch and flip it over. Can you see how neat and beautiful this is? Can you see the inside? Very neat. And now we're done with our collar. You fold it back into 2 and still notch the midpoint. Very important, because this midpoint needs to match the midpoint of your fabric, your main fabric. Okay, so this is what we have for our collar. I'm going to be bringing in my main piece. Remember, it was on fold. Okay, I'm going to open this up. Okay, I had a little excess there, just trim it off. I'm going to open this up. Now you're going to be placing your fabric right sides, just the way you see me do. Can you see? Lay everything open, lay everything bare on your table. Now the center back notch is there, and remember, this collar is stopping right at this notched point. Can you see? It mustn't go beyond that, except yours, you want it to go beyond that point. Now go ahead and place your collar on the center back. Ensure the notch parts are aligned, and then the part where you have the stay on your collar should be the part that is facing up. Okay, so I've pinned the center back. I'm going to pick the edge of my collar, pin it to that notch part. Okay, just the way you see me do. Please watch carefully. And then I'm going to pick the other end of the collar, lay it also at the other notch point, and I'm also going to pin this down. You can go ahead and pin it down at all points, so you are sure that you're doing the right thing. Now after pinning round, can you see what I have? I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and stitch it down. So after stitching down our collar, can you see what we have? Very neat and beautiful. So we're going to be attaching our facing now. Please watch how I'm going to be attaching this facing. You're still going to lay everything out, okay, and make sure your collar is facing the fabric. You're going to bring in your facing and also notch the midpoint. Please, you must ensure you notch, because we need everything to match. The shoulder seams must align, the center back must align, everything must match accurately to get a perfect result. Okay, so after notching the midpoints of your facing, you're going to flip your facing to the right side. Okay, right side facing the right side of the fabric, and also facing the right side of your collar. Okay, now let the midpoints align. Remember, the collar is being sandwiched in between the facing and the main fabric. Okay, ensure your collar is lying inside, just the way you see mine. Can you see? Now ensure your shoulder seams align. Okay, go ahead, you can go ahead and use your pin and hold it in place. You're going to sew all the way to this extended collar, and from that part you're going to sew straight down to the hem. Okay, can you see the way I'm pointing it out here? And from the center back as well, you're going to sew, ensure the shoulder seam align as well. Join this together all the way, and then you're going to repeat the same thing on this other side. And when you're done, you're going to flip everything out to the right side. Okay, now after stitching down, can you see what we have? I wanted to show us what we have. You're going to be notching. Notching is very, very important. It will help the collar to relax perfectly. Now when you're going to iron this, you can work with your hemming gum, okay, while ironing this down, so it can lay flat and beautiful. Okay, if you're having help on this tutorial, if this tutorial is helpful, please kindly like and subscribe and share this tutorial for more people to get help. Okay, now go ahead and notch, and then you're going to turn everything out to the right side. Ensure you're bringing every corner out. Flip everything to the right side, just the way you see me do. Can you see what we have? And when you're done, you're going to give this a very good press, and then the notch collar you did will also guide you on how to keep your flap in place where you want your button to start. Can you see what we have? Now this other part as well. Can you see what we have here? Can you see what we have? So I'll go ahead and press this down. Now after pressing, can you see how beautiful this is coming out? And the black design is really making it pop in front. I'm loving this already. This is so beautiful. And I've gone ahead to pin the collar, the button overlap in place. Okay, you have to pin it down so that when you're shaping the sides, you have the accurate measurements. I'll measure around my armhole for our sleeve. So after measuring around my armhole, I have this small piece of fabric left. Okay, so I'm going to be using this to cut out my sleeve. Okay, so the length of this is 9 inches. I'm going to be adding the little black crepe that is left, okay, to make the sleeve a bit longer, so it's fine. I came down by 4.5 and I curved it just the way you see me do. If you need a detailed tutorial on how to cut a basic sleeve, just let me know in the comment section. Okay, now this lower part, I'm going to be measuring my round sleeve divided by 2 plus 1 inch for sewing allowance, and I'm going to go ahead and just cut this out, and I'm done with cutting out my sleeve. It's as simple as that. So I really hope this tutorial was helpful. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate. Now I'm going ahead to trim off this hemline because I need everything to lay perfectly. So notch the midpoint, so when you're stitching into your shirt, the midpoint of the sleeve has to match with the midpoint of the shoulder. So I'm going ahead to measure around this cuff to ensure I have the measurements I need and I have just the perfect thing I need. So I'm going to open this up and I'll bring in my black crepe fabric, okay, just to add a design to the sleeve. If you don't have it, it's fine, but I just wanted it to match with the flap in front of my shirt. I have 8 inches here. I'm going to put it on fold, which will give me 4 inches. Just put it on fold and then I'll lay it on the right side of my fabric, my sleeve, and I'm going to just stitch down with 1/2 an inch all the way, and I'll flip it over. And I'll just go ahead and attach the both sleeve, and then I'll show us the end result of this beautiful piece. When you're done, go ahead and hem the lower part with 1/2 inch, okay, and shape the sides. And this is the end result of our notched collar shirt. Okay, I hope this tutorial was really helpful. I'm going to go ahead and attach my button to this. Okay, so for the buttons, it depends on how many buttons you want to have, but since it's more like a short shirt for me, like a crop shirt, 1 button is going to be right at this point where I'm pointing here. From that point, I'm going to be marking 2.5 inch spacing for each button, 2.5 inch spacing, and 2.5 inch spacing. I'm going to leave this other part open, but if you want to add another button, you can still do the same thing, 2.5 inch spacing, but 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons is just fine for me. So I'll go ahead and fix my buttons, and thank you so much guys for watching. You saw the fit on me at the beginning of the tutorial. I really hope this tutorial was helpful. Till I see you guys next time, it's a bye-bye.